Would you pack up and move down to San Diego?
Yes.
Live there full time?
Yes.
You'd be okay not being a part of Vanderpump Rules anymore?
I mean, that's season 10 we're talking about, Bryce.
Okay. Scheana Shay.
Hi.
Are we still going by Shay? I feel like I have to ask you this every time.
It is still my legal name.
Okay.
And I mean, when I changed it legally and professionally a few years ago, it's like, I'm not gonna go back to Marie or legally go back to my maiden name and to maybe get married again one day. I don't know, probably not, but well, you never know.
I want to talk about, there seems to be almost a Justice for Scheana campaign this season.
Yes, I love it.
You do love it, okay.
I do, absolutely.
How are you feeling about how you're coming across this season
Terrible.
so far?
I mean, it just gets worse every year.
Why is this year so much worse though?
Honestly, I don't know. It's just like every season, it's just a different style surdress and a different boy I'm awkwardly flirting with.
I'm divorced. I don't know if you know that.
No, I do
not a big
not.
deal. Doesn't define me.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it feels like we're seeing a lot of you with the newbies and not a lot of you with the OGs.
I'm the only one still at Sir.
Why is that?
You tell me, Bryce. I don't know. I would love to be on stage in Vegas, in my podcast studio, with my boyfriend, like my actual life, I would love. But in this world, I am at Sir.
Okay, you're at Sir, experiencing a lot of time with these newbies, giving some of the newbies a hard time.
Look, it was all in fun. I apologized very shortly after, but also what you didn't see is I was being directed into what she was supposed to do from Peter, from other managers. They're like, go make her do this, go make her do that. And so I was just the messenger.
Okay.
But I was just like, you know what, if that's my job today, is to be the bitchy trainer, then so be it. And it just so happened that Dayna started a day before Charlie, so she was the one who got the grunt of it.
So that's the reason you went after Dayna, is just because she started first?
We just didn't click, and it literally had nothing to do with Max. We just didn't vibe right off the bat. And with Charlie I did, with Brett I did, and with Dayna, I think she has a similar personality to like Stassi and Lala, and that's just not the type of personality that I'm drawn to. It's usually the one I run from. So right off the bat, we didn't hit it off, but you'll see as the season plays out that we do become friends.
Yeah, I hear you become friends, but then maybe things take another turn after that.
There's some bumps in the road still, definitely. But I mean, I talked to her last night, and we're gonna do a little Palm Springs trip soon.
Okay, so we're in a good place now.
Yes.
Okay, takes a turn back.
You know, I mean, things always take a turn. It could take a turn next week again. You
Right.
never know.
That's the world of Vanderpump Rules.
Exactly.
It is not a jealousy thing. I'm sick of people thinking it's a Max jealousy thing. She comes in this group for 2 seconds and it's like, it's frustrating. I'm sick of everyone trying to make it like it's a jealousy thing because it's not. Okay.
Why did you get so upset when you were pushed on if it was a jealousy thing with her?
Because I was jealous that she was getting her career filmed and that everyone was going to her comedy show and all of these things. It was like, you've been here for 2 seconds and you're getting all of this that I've worked 8 years for. Meanwhile, I'm just at Sir and flirting with a boy. Sir, boy, no Vegas, no podcast, no anything else. And so it was a jealousy thing, but it had nothing to do with Max. It was so frustrating because everyone's like, you're jealous. I'm like, yeah, but not about that. Like, can you just listen? And no one would listen to me. And I needed to speak out about it because I'm like, I will admit to when I'm wrong, if I am jealous, if I'm overreacting, like I can admit fault. I'm not above that at all, but I'm not going to admit something that's not true. And sometimes, like especially with Lisa, I love her so much and I love her advice and all of those moments I get with her, but she has this way of telling me how I feel and what I want, and that drives me insane. I'm like, oh my God, no one is listening to me.
Have you been able to have that conversation with her though, of like, stop projecting my feelings onto me?
No, probably at the reunion.
Okay, something to look forward to.
Yeah, so excited.
Still on the west side.
Yes.
You're not gonna move to the valley with everybody else?
God, no. I will be moving to San Diego before you see me in Valley Village.
Okay, that's a big statement.
I mean, yeah, it's where my boyfriend lives.
Let's talk about your boy. He's not on the show this
No,
season.
thank God.
Do you want him to eventually be on the show?
Honestly, yes and no. Very small yes, because I genuinely feel this is the only real, true love relationship I've ever been in. So I would love to show that. But at the same time, I want to keep him as far away from all of it because, you know, one little Aussie joke and that'll be the whole season of whatever way it's going to get twisted. And I don't want that for us. He wants nothing to do with the show. He's friends with everyone. We've all hung out several times and he's boys with all the boys, but he really doesn't care to be on it. So we'll see.
Why do you say this one feels different from past relationships?
I just know that I've never felt the way I feel, and he says the same thing. There's just this spark that we have that I've never experienced before. And it's like every relationship I get in, it's like, this is the happiest I've ever been because obviously I am going to date someone better than the last. I'm not going to date down. So of course everyone I would hope would make me happier than the last. But this relationship is just very different in all of the best ways. I've never been made to feel so secure and wanted and loved and just treated with the utmost respect and little surprises and things that I've just never had. And I'm only saying this because you're asking me, but I don't brag about him. Like, oh my God, I got into a rabbit hole last night of season 6 and 7. And I was just like, he saw one scene of me with Rob and he's like, babe, I'm like, I know, cringeworthy. He's like, no, I get it.
We talk about having kids and getting married, and we're looking at houses together. Rob and I have named our first daughter Madison Marie Parks Valletta.
But do you now understand, having shown him those episodes of past seasons, why you get labeled boy crazy?
Oh, yeah.
You get it now?
Did you say I'm boy crazy?
Yeah.
It's just like, I don't like being called crazy. I'm not crazy. And I'm over chasing boys, so I'm not crazy.
What you didn't see in the conversation with Max when I am like calling him out about all of this stuff, I'm like, but look, I go, at the end of the day, I was in Vegas that weekend, and from Chippendale to Magic Mike to DJ, I was like, wow, Scheana, you are a little boy crazy. He was not wrong. And I took so much offense to it, and I'm like, I just need to embrace it. I'm capitalizing on that. We have boy crazy merch coming soon. Hoodies. And then Brock is my #1 supporter with this. He's been the one dealing with manufacturers and like finding the right fonts and the right style of beanie and all of this. And he's like, look, you can be boy crazy because you're with a man now.
Okay.
Yeah.
And hey, if you guys can work together, that's another.
I know, exactly. And like, there's so many things that have been like his ideas, and it's just like having someone who like wants to be a part of my life but doesn't need to be on the show or involved in social media or anything like that, just genuinely wants to be a part of it and help me build my brand. I've never had that before.
So where is this thing going? You said you don't know if you want to get married
Maybe a little
again.
south, San Diego.
Would you pack up and move down to San Diego?
Yes.
Live there full time?
Yes.
That would mean largely walking away from the show, this group.
Well, I am renewing my lease in Marina for another year.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm not going down to San Diego just yet.
You'd be okay not being a part of Vanderpump Rules anymore?
I mean, just because I live in San Diego doesn't mean, you know, I mean, that's season 10 we're talking about, Bryce.
Okay,
Let's get through 9 first.
We're only on 8.
Yeah, we're only on 8, so this wouldn't be for well over another year, if at all.
How long has it been now?
Almost 6 months. Yeah, it almost feels like now it's like not crazy because I mean we were a month in and we were in Bali and Australia and
Yeah, you started this relationship by traveling the world together,
Yeah.
which is not how most relationships start.
no, but after 10 days of 24/7 together and not a single even slight disagreement, I was like, wow, I've never done that with anyone, not even my ex-husband. We're taking things slow and quick at the same time. We are both divorced, so to jump back in, it's like, you know, we need to make sure it's right, not rush it, but if the time feels right, then why not? But I don't know.
Does the fact that both of you are divorced also help because you know now like what you want, what you don't want? It's
I
a
think
shared
so.
experience in a way.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, we both know what it's like to go through all of that, and that's not something either of us ever want to go through again. So
I know you froze your eggs.
I'm actually getting ready for round 3.
Round 3.
Yeah.
Why 3 rounds?
Because I unfortunately have very, very low, almost non-existent fertility numbers for my age. And after the second round, I was like, wow, I have 16 eggs. This is amazing. And my doctor's like, 16's good. It's not great. Consider a third. And this was something I talked to Brock about, and he's not weirded out by it. He's not afraid of it. He absolutely supports it. And he knows down the road, I mean, if we have a chance to make a good, healthy embryo the scientific way, then so be it. But I'm not gonna get pregnant on my own. It's just not in the cards for me unless there was a miracle, which you never know, but very, very unlikely.
But you're taking your future into your own hands.
Yes. And T, there's another cast member who's gonna do this with me.
Who?
Can't tell you. Stay tuned.
Would we be surprised to find out who it is?
Maybe.
Okay. But Brock and you talk about having kids?
Yeah.
Do you have a timeline at all of when you think that might happen?
No, we're just enjoying life right now. We still want to travel. We want to build businesses together, whether that's maybe opening up another gym and me investing, or just we're putting a lot into my YouTube channel right now because I just really want to show the side of my life that nobody gets to see unless it's in an Instagram story here and there. And I just really want people to get to know him. And regardless of if there's a season 9 and he's on the show, you're not gonna see that for a year from now. So I just really want people to see this relationship because it is the real deal.
And to be in control of how they see it, right?
Yeah, that too, that definitely helps.
Okay. I want to dig into some other drama unfolding on the show. Jackson Brittany, all the pastor drama.
And the pastor that you had until like 3 days ago.
Right?
I'm wondering like why it took Lisa coming to you guys about
No,
this.
no, I'm not talking about this. Are you kidding me? The is that?
Tom and Ariana seem to be the only people willing to speak up to them about it, at least on camera. Why wasn't the rest of the group being vocal about it?
I honestly didn't look into it whatsoever. Not my wedding, not my business. I think got so blown out of proportion. I'm like, okay, I get where Jax is coming from. Like, why didn't you speak up sooner? But I get where Tom's coming from, where he's like, thought you handled it and now you didn't, so like, let's do something. And Sandoval is the type of friend where he genuinely is happy for his friends. He's not jealous of his friend's success or love or anything. He wants the best, and even if that means some constructive criticism or saying things that no one else is gonna say, I appreciate that so much about him, and he's actually made me a better person, a better performer by his constructive criticism he's given me. And so I think people should embrace that more instead of shaming him for being a good person and a good friend.
Okay. Performing. Are we performing more? Are we doing more music? I feel like we need another collab with you and Lala.
Like a boss, like a boss. Gotta get success like a boss.
The thing with Lala, I love her, but she says one thing to my face and another thing behind my back. And we're literally sitting on set of the Like a Boss shoot. And I'm like, we're a good duo. Like, I would love to do this more with you. And she's like, yeah, we should. And I'm like, but the thing is, you're gonna get home and make fun of me for suggesting this and nothing's ever gonna come out of it. And nothing's come out of it, so.
Okay. Yeah, we're seeing that shade of Lala maybe a little more. It pops up in the most recent episode where she says Ariana wants everyone to fail, but then says, this is a safe space, you can trust me.
That's very flip-floppy. I actually haven't seen that yet, but I saw Tom on Watch What Happens Live. So I saw that little bit of it, and I was like, ooh, that's my night tonight. I'm catching up on my episodes.
Do you watch the full episodes now, or are you still fast-forwarding just to your scenes?
So I'll skim through just to see overall what's in it, but then I will watch it in its entirety more than once.
Okay.
Yeah.
We've grown.
Yes. And the thing is, I would fast forward through most of my own scenes.
Okay, so that got misconstrued.
It did, and that's what I even said, like on the reunion. I was like, yes, I do, but I also fast forward through mine because mine are so cringy. But also there were like, I remember scenes with like Stassi and Patrick, and I'm like, they're not even together anymore. Why do I care to see this guy be so rude to her? Like, I don't need to see that. I'm like, I don't care. Like, and I know they do the same thing with me. But now I am in a good place with everyone. I love our show, and I do watch every scene.
Not everyone in the group is in a good place, though.
No.
Witches of WeHo,
Where
Denzo.
do you stand in that whole thing?
I mean, if I had to pick a side, I'm definitely on Kristen's. I talk to her almost every day, and she's one of my very closest friends. But I mean, I love Stassi and Katie, and we're in a good place. We're not best friends. I don't think we'll ever get back to that. But I'm in a good place with both of them. So, I mean, I still love them. But I'm Team Kristen.
Team Kristen, okay. Last other drama happening in the group. We're seeing James say really nasty things to Raquel.
Oh, I got text that night too.
Okay, yeah,
I
because it
got
spurred
the
from a night
same
out
ones.
for
Yes.
the two of you.
You, where are you? I'm breaking up with you. Whore, slut whore, you. It makes me literally want to throw up. Like, I want to throw up right now.
It seems like there's no coming back from treating a woman like that.
Raquel is a saint. She's a very forgiving person, and this was the breaking point for her, where she was like, okay, now here's an ultimatum. Like, you either stop drinking or you lose me, because I'm not gonna put up with this anymore. She had finally had enough. But I think up until that point, and same when I was with Shay for so long, it's like, it is a disease, and people don't realize that. I didn't even realize it when I was in the marriage until after, and I'm like, oh my God, like there are things that like you can't help unless you want to help yourself. And I think she saw that with James and just wanted to stay and just fix him and help him. But then it's like, once you reach your breaking point, you can only be disrespected for so long. And I was so proud of her for standing up for herself and speaking up, and they're in a great place now.
There's still half a season left to watch.
I think there's more than half, Bryce.
You say a big breath there. Are you scared about anything that's coming up?
I mean, yeah, just knowing what I filmed, I know at a birthday party, because it wouldn't be Vanderpump Rules if there wasn't a breakdown at a birthday party. I have a very vulnerable, probably one of my most vulnerable moments I've ever had on the show with Lala. And I'm not looking forward to seeing that, but I am, because I just finally just threw down all my walls, and I'm like, yeah, I'm depressed and I'm not happy, and here's why. Instead of just acting like, no, I'm fine, I'm fine, I'm fine. I was like, I'm not okay. I was not in a good place last summer. I was struggling with a lot of anxiety, depression. I just wasn't in a good place personally. And no one was understanding that. Everyone just thought, oh, you're jealous of Dayna. And I'm like, no, I got a lot of other things going on. It's not about Dayna.
Can you give me some insight? I know we'll have to wait and see everything that leads to that moment, but what you were dealing with?
The one big thing was going through second round of freezing my eggs. I mean, filming a reality show sober, like bravo to Lala and now James and other people who can do it. Because I mean, I don't drink a lot, but I do smoke weed. And that's the one thing that helps me with my anxiety. And so being dead sober, injecting myself with hormones, waking up alone every day, like putting my body through this for a maybe baby, like it really took a toll on me emotionally, and I lost it.
Makes perfect sense. All right, well, I'm glad you're in a happier place
Yes.
now.
Thank you.
We're looking forward to the YouTube channel.
Yeah.
And I guess more than half of Vanderpump Rules still to come.
Oh my gosh, I know. Lots to come.